Okay, here goes. I spent 2 weeks in the Dominican Republic visiting my cousin Katie, her husband Kevin, and their 2 kids, Harper and Hudson. During the first week, we stayed at their home in Cabrera. Cabrera is a beautiful spot away from the bustle of tourists. If you enjoy tropical beaches, ocean swimming, and lots of sunshine, this is the place for you. I stayed in their casita, which was a cute little house separate from the main house, with its own kitchen and bathroom. One day we walked a short distance to a small waterfall called El Salto. Off to the left side was a large divot where locals had carved out mud that supposedly was good for your skin. My little cousin Hudson put the mud all over his dad's face like a mask. The mud had a greenish color to it, so he joked that his dad looked like Shrek. There was also an air pocket behind the waterfall that you could swim to if you braved the gush of water falling from above. The pool at the bottom of the waterfall was barely 6 feet deep at its deepest spot, but that doesn't stop the locals from jumping from the top. They don't even take the stairs to get back up. Instead, they scale the side of the waterfall. One boy made it look so easy that I had to try. So many people have climbed up the side of this waterfall that there are perfect little finger grips that actually make it very easy, even for someone as unskilled as me, to climb up the side. I only climbed up a few feet out of the water though, before jumping back in. Another day, Katie and I went to Laguna Dudu. Yes, it's called Dudu. The big attraction here is the zip line that drops you 30 feet into the water below. It's only 50 Dominican pesos, or roughly $1 per jump, and they provide life jackets for you to wear. They instruct you to keep your arms up or at your sides on the way down. I got water up my nose and my whole body was shaking with adrenaline on my way back up the stairs for a second jump, but it was so much fun. That's professional. Yeah. Woo! Another attraction at Laguna Dudu is the small cave system. It was rigged up with electric lighting and outlets so they could host parties inside. Dudu would be an amazing place to host a destination wedding. Katie and I also swam around a quiet, more secluded pool with a school of fish inside. Katie's kids are involved in World School. World School is an alternative school program with locations all over the world. Families can travel and enroll kids at school for short periods while they are in their current country. Katie and Kevin both have a passion for travel. They are also great at networking, which helps them connect with new people quickly and run their business back in the States from a distance. Over the course of their travels, Hudson has been to 28 countries and Harper has been to 31. This lifestyle is not for everyone, but I was grateful to experience a snapshot of their life for the 2 short weeks that I got to stay with them. At the end of the kids' school day, Katie and I would drive to pick them up from school. We would usually sit and watch them play soccer for a bit. It was fun to see the whole mix of different kids playing together. There were some as young as 5 years old. There were kids from Haiti and the Dominican Republic, as well as expatriates from Denmark and France. Even their Australian-sounding teacher joined in on the game. Hudson is super passionate about soccer, and it's his dream to play for England one day in the big leagues. On one of the last days in Cabrera, I joined Katie for a morning yoga class. It was quite the challenge for me because I had not exercised in a while, but I did the poses I could and rested the rest of the time. One student even did a crow pose, and there was no way I was doing that. At the end, Katie said I did a great job, and that made me feel better. Another day, Katie, Kevin, and I went out to a beach with a whole forest of mangrove trees. Katie and I took the paddleboard out and explored some of the ocean rivers. I didn't get any footage of this part for fear of losing my phone in the water, but I wish I had brought it because it was one of the most scenic parts of the trip. We came across a whole colony of white egrets roosting in the trees, and a bunch of fledglings were hopping from branch to branch, strengthening their wings. It was so cute. Definitely something I would like to do again. One way Katie and Kevin find accommodation around the world is through house swapping. While their home in Las Vegas is unoccupied, they can swap it or use points to stay at other people's homes elsewhere. For the second half of the trip, we stayed at a house swap in Las Terrenas. This house also had a separate living area for me, so they stayed in the main house and I had a private space with a bedroom, bathroom, and mini fridge all to myself. This house was within walking distance to the ocean, so naturally we spent a day at the beach. Harper and Hudson had a competition building sandcastles.
Got thicker bits, like that. Smaller bits, thicker, and then they can both and make weird shapes like that. You just get a cut and it smoothens it.
Yeah, it smooths it out.
So right now, looking at my brothers, I'm pretty sure I'll
Yeah. Twin Towers! And we've got the Mountain of Drips and the cave system underneath. It was a secret for many years, but we have discovered it.
Yes. And there's little drippies on the top.
Yeah.
But make sure whole thing castle is strong enough to hold.
If you are planning a trip to the Dominican Republic, I would recommend visiting in the winter when the hot weather is most mild. I was prepared for the heat and sun, but the mosquitoes were something fierce, especially in Las Terrenas, so be sure to bring your bug spray and lightweight clothing to cover your skin in the evenings. Also be aware that the DR is a developing country. It is very normal for electricity and water to go down for hours at a time. Your food should be okay if you leave the fridge closed, but ice will definitely melt on nights when the power goes out. Another thing about the DR is that, depending on where you go, Wi-Fi will not be very strong. In the places I was, it was impossible to teach online lessons over video chat. The signal just wasn't stable enough. Another thing to note is that Dominicans talk loud, and they like loud music. And when I say loud music, I mean eardrum splitting loud. Music that plays off the back of someone's truck and reaches across an entire 200-yard beach. On the last full day there, we went on a burro ride over a hilly trail to Salto and Limon Waterfall. I have very little horseback riding experience, so it was scary at times riding over the steep inclines and declines. I don't have any footage of the hilly parts because I had to hold onto the saddle for dear life. At one point, Hudson asked to get off, but Katie convinced him to keep going. He and I were both glad we tried it because on the ride back we knew what to expect and had a much easier time. Each horse or burro had a guide assigned to it, and it was clear that this trail had been walked hundreds, if not thousands of times. So that helped give me confidence that we would make it there and back without falling off our rides.
I got a lump in my throat 'cause you gonna sing the words wrong. There's this movie that I think you like. This guy decides to quit his job and heads to New York City. This cowboy's
When we arrived at the waterfall, I was given a fern crown, and one of our guides offered to take pictures of us. We went swimming, and just like the El Saltadero waterfall, Salto El Limon has a cave area you could swim in. This one was off to the right of the waterfall and even had a small, dry area you could climb up onto. On the way back, our guides walked off the path and used a long bamboo pole to knock down some fresh fruit. It was sort of a cross between an apple and a pear with a large pit in the middle.
I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just wanna know, 'cause I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you'll ever see.
There were some pretty awesome parts during my trip to the Dominican Republic. Getting to stay with my cousin and her family definitely made it worth it. So thank you so much, Katie, for the invite to come stay with you guys. I most enjoyed the burro ride, singing Disney songs in the car with the kids, and good deep conversations with Katie.